10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Whack Whack Attack. Today is May 1st, and we're going to start the episode with a whole bunch of stats. So let's have a look. So a couple of days ago, Kevster shared the screenshot of the deposits into the deposit pool, hitting over 60,000 for April. So that was really great landmark because it was pretty much double of any previous month. So since then, however, we've continued to grow, and let me see right here. Look, we've had these deposits that are 2,500 ETH, and then more that are like over 1,000 ETH. So many deposits have come in that have been really great to see, you know, like big deposits. So let's have a look on the RocketScan website and see what we can see here. So right now, of course, the deposit pool is limit is 1800 ETH, 18,000 ETH. It has a balance of 8 ETH, so there's not enough in there to spin up a new mini pool at the moment. If you have a look at the daily deposits, on Sunday we had a little bit of a slow day right here, where there were only like nearly 600 deposits. Every day, like for the previous week before that, there were like many thousands. Since the 21st to the 29th, there were more than 1,000 ETH every day. Yesterday that broke the cycle. However, today we're kind of back with a vengeance, and we've had like nearly 4,400 ETH deposited into the deposit pool so far today. So the deposit pool is doing amazing things. If you have a look at the weekly numbers, that last week's week was bigger than any previous month in one single week, which was just amazing. And then the monthly number finished on 66,236 ETH, which of course, you know, is more than double of any previous month that we've had so far. May, of course, has already started off in the way that April finished. So that's really great to see. And the deposits are just coming through, and they're not slowing down, right? Like, so here, you know, we had this at 3 a.m. By RETH Whale, which is a really nice name there for that person. They minted just over 2,550 ETH worth of RETH, and then, you know, earlier on today as well, we had 1,000 ETH, 250 ETH, and many like deposits coming through in, like, you know, the 80 to you know, like below 100 range, but many of those coming through as well. So the deposits are just coming, and they're really great. This RETH Whale person, we're going to talk about them a little bit more in a few minutes, but let's go back over here and see that the mini pool queue hit 2,500 mini pools over the weekend, and because of all those big deposits today, we are currently at 2,491 mini pools that are waiting to be matched with ETH deposits, you know, ETH mints to start the validators. So these some of these people, like, they've been queuing for 9 days. Those are next in line, so it's not as bad as it could have been. The queue's moving quite fast, right, because we're getting so many deposits coming through. The real thing that's interesting is right now we have enough space for a 95,212 ETH deposit into the deposit pool in one go, and that deposit will clear the queue and also fill up the deposit pool up to 18,000. So if there's any whale out there who's watching, feel free to deposit 95,000 ETH into the deposit pool right now. Everyone will really love you for it. So yeah, it's really great that this the queue's moving quite quickly, quicker than most people expected, and the deposits are coming in super fast. I just wish they were a tiny bit faster, but hey, like, that'll happen soon, I'm sure. One thing that was really interesting that happened here is that there's more evidence of flows from Kraken. So I don't know if you can see on the screenshot here or not, but like there's this deposit into wallet address from Kraken for 1,680 ETH. Then the person swapped 15 ETH for a wrapped ETH, and then they swapped 1,660 ETH for our ETH using Rocket Pool. Like, so there's this flow, you know, from Kraken to Rocket Pool that we were talking about before. It seems like there's some evidence of that happening. It's really, really great to see. So that's awesome. Everyone wants to see the deposit pool hit 100,000 ETH. So if that happens, I'll get you guys a screenshot. Okay, so I was talking about this person, RETH Whale. So they bought their RETH, over 2,500 ETH worth of RETH overnight, but then they also started buying RPL, and this is their purchase right here, 0x742. They bought 30 ETH worth here, and then they bought more. There's 95 ETH worth, and then another 96 ETH worth, and then another 98 ETH worth. And then this person, Eleusis, came into trading and started asking questions about Kraken and like their pairs, what they do and don't have. And it turns out that this person was kind of like orange pill their friend into making a huge investment into Rocket Pool. So at the end, like I showed you over here, they bought 36,000 RPL tokens, and they bought 2,300, and that's what they're holding at the moment. They are holding the RETH, of course, because it's less in terms of so this RETH that they're holding, 2,387, is worth around 2,550 ETH. So that's really cool stuff. Really, really wonderful to see that people are still that people are buying in size, and not only are they buying minting RETH, but they're also buying RPL, which is pretty amazing to see. So yeah, here you can see all the trades for the RPL that they did to get the RPL in, and I think they got most of it from just like they swapped into it. So that's really, really cool to see that. Eleusis, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that badly, I know that I am for sure, like orange pill their friend, and they did it while they were in the ice bath, I think, or something like that. It's been a case that's been happening for months, but a lot of people started like making Iceman comments and memes and stuff. Sleety made one here. Let me see if I can find it. I should have had it loaded from before. But yeah, they bought a whole lot of RPL, which was really, really nice to see. Maverick changed his name to Iceman. And then Sleety says the Iceman cometh, and people were sharing here it is, like, what's that orange coin again? Eleusis. And then there's the person sat in the background, and there's Iceman in the front. So good job, everyone. That was really exciting overnight. Okay, so we've already seen that. And one of the things that was really exciting that I saw was if you have a look at the Rocket Scan website and look at the nodes page, you'll see that the node growth that Rocket Pool had right as it launched was we had 443 new nodes set up in November 2021. Since then, in December we had 188. That's 2021. And since then, we've kind of been hovering around the 100 or so mark, like kind of struggling to get above it too much, like a little bit above, a little bit below. But April hit 255, which was like the second biggest month by far. And like since basically January 2022, it's almost double of the previous biggest month. So in January I had 150, but it was a really substantial increase in node operators for Rocket Pool. So as you can see now, we have a total how many node operators do we have? Node operators over time. Right now we have just under 2,500 node operators, but at the rate that we're getting new node operators, we should have 2,500 node operators within the next week or two, which is really exciting to see. It's very, very exciting to see. Of course, there'll be people who are running multiple Rocket Pool nodes, and there'll be some of those nodes will be run on virtual services like All Nodes or other web hosting services that people use for their cloud services. But so I'm saying that it's not 2,500 people, like unique people who are doing this, but unique nodes for a number of people who are doing this. There's different estimates about how many people it might be, but no one really knows for sure. I've seen numbers range from 1,000 to 2,000 and numbers in between as well. So maybe someone can work that out one day. But as you can see here, there's been a couple of instances of like really good growth in the node operator number. So right in the beginning, we had this huge explosion going up to like 500 nodes. But in the first day, there was like 200 nodes. And then over here in March, right around the curve time, there were a whole bunch of nodes that came online. And around the merge as well, there were a bunch of nodes that came online as well. But this growth now, I think, is one of the strongest periods of growth we've had since actual mainnet launch. So that's really, really great to see. Okay, next we have, and because of all these deposits and all the things that are coming through, yesterday was the first full day in which Rocket Pool staked more ETH than Lido since withdrawals. So yesterday Lido staked 6,464 ETH and Rocket Pool staked 8,835 ETH. So that was a really nice visual in getting that information, and it's a nice little step along the way to what you say. Let's have a look. Jasper put a tweet out. He says, proud to say that on April 30th, Rocket Pool onboarded more stake than Lido Finance, the first occasion since the Shanghai hard fork. With RETH withdrawals already enabled, growth is already catching Lido, and staking return already leading. The flipping is closer than you think. So the flipping, of course, Jasper's thesis is that Rocket Pool will flip Lido. I'm here for that, There were some interesting comments that came through. This one from Paulinia, who said, at that differential, it'll take half a decade to catch Lido. I sure hope it accelerates. We need at least 10x of that for the flipping. It's closer than you think. And then Jasper says, mind you, this is before Lido has enabled withdrawals. Their stake can't leave. And then Paulina says the lack of discount on STETH as opposed to say CBETH implies most STETH holders won't be withdrawing. However, I'm hoping for some whales for whom the secondary market slippage may be significant will withdraw and stick to other LSDs. So of course, we're hoping that they change to Rocket Pool, as many of them as possible. Okay, next we had this really great tweet from Visla, who said, for anyone involved in Gnosis Chain or Rocket Pool, I just started a discussion to move Gnosis DAO treasury assets into Rocket Pool to help decentralize the Ethereum's validator set. See it here. So here we have a forum post. Let's go have a look at it. So Visla said, hi folks, this is my first forum discussion and potential Gnosis improvement proposal. So happy to take feedback for any of the Gnosis team on style and substance. He says, as of last notice, the Gnosis treasury managed by Kapatki holds 64,124 wrapped ETH, around $130 million, and 5,725 STETH, 712 RETH, and 18,622 ETH. And then there's a full report that's linked to. He says, I should note that the majority of the WST ETH is being used as collateral. And then he makes the argument that mint basically RETH to promote decentralization and promote diversity in their stake share, to remove like contract or minimize contract risk. And then Dr. Doofus here says, someone who uses both Gnosis Safe and Rocket Pool, this is a no-brainer. Looking for Owls here says, I'm in support of this proposal as a Gnosis user and Rocket Pool node operator. And then he presents a bit of a stronger case for Rocket Pool, showing how it's less likely to peg over time and stuff like that. And then here we have digital consultants saying I'm much in favor of using part or all of ST-ETH to acquire RETH and participate as a validator on Rocket Pool. And then this last person here says I would approve this proposal as it sets Gnosis on the road to diversifying risk and having significant presence in other protocols. So there's some positive feedback in there. I'll definitely keep an eye on this as things change or develop. But as a consequence of Visla's forum post, Dr. Doofus wrote this really great post that I'm going to read out for you all. He says, the deposit pool will not fill itself. How can you help? He says, reach out to DAOs, hedge funds, wealthy family members, etc. When you initiate contact with large organization, please add information to this spreadsheet. So here this spreadsheet has started. Here, there's the name on the left of the DAO or organization that people have reached out to, Gnosis, Nouns, Nexus Mutual, and then who are the contacts from the Rocket Pool side, Visla, Looking for Owls, WAC, and Ishka, and then what's the process of this, and then giving updates here. So go to the sheet and add your information or edit the information if there's updates. And then Dr. Doofus says if you have comments on the spreadsheet or the process of documenting them, make them here. Then there's a forum post with outreach stuff. He says need help getting your outreach started. Build off these Gnosis DAO comments written by Visla, Waldorf, and LFO. If you want to reach out to a big organization, please check the spreadsheet above. We don't want to look unprofessional by having one hand not knowing what the other hand is doing. Last and not least, when reach out to another organization that you're a member of, add your support, comment on their post, retweet their tweet. Don't just stand there, do something. And then he says, thank you for Looking for Owls and WAC for working on Nouns DAO. Thank you for Visla for starting the process with Gnosis DAO. And of course, thank you for Ishka for starting with Nexus Mutual as well. There's a whole bunch of other people that are working on this behind the scenes. My work with Nouns DAO wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Al, who's a member of the Nouns DAO community. So thanks for Al and others who are involved in this as well. There's a whole bunch of community members that are kind of thinking about this or starting to do this. So if you are working or you have ideas about reaching out to other groups or organizations, please check in on this forum post right here first and make sure that you're getting the right information. So here's staking ETH with Rocket Pool outreach and organization, and Dr. Doofus says, in regards to reaching out to organizations, and then here's the forum post. So definitely go give that a look because I think that will be a really great organizing ground for us to coordinate our efforts. Okay, so we just had a look at that. Okay, so as you know, a bunch of people use the rescue node that Patches and other rocket scientists have set up, like POAP and others. So the rescue node had an issue over the weekend. Here there's an update saying we lost our Lighthouse node to a disk failure. DNS has been switched to Teku for now. If you're a Lighthouse user currently relying on the rescue node, you'll have to simply disable doppelganger detection until the DC techs replace the failed hardware. So that was just the announcement going out for people who are using the rescue node on Lighthouse to get yourself covered up. So this was on the 28th that it went out, and on the 29th it was fixed. It says full Lighthouse support was just restored. So there was a day of outage maybe that had happened. So if you experienced that, then sorry, but these things happen, of course, right? And thankfully it wasn't too much of an impact for those people who are using the rescue node. Okay, next we had this really great thing that happened. So Dr. Doofus says, certainly hot vote is done. Are you official? And then Dybsy says, yeah. And then people say congrats. And then Romana shared this hop ambassador vote. It says, as per hop improvement proposal 21, we are holding elections to select hop DAO ambassadors to interface with other communities. Voters can select multiple options. The top 3 candidates with the most votes above quorum will be selected as Rocket Pool ambassadors for hop DAO. There was only one person here who was running for Rocket Pool, and that was our beloved Dybsy, who says, I'd like to nominate myself as an ambassador to the Rocket Pool community. Here's my rationale. Details gives information about what Rocket Pool is. Value, Rocket Pool is known as entity and industry leader in the field of decentralized staking. And then best fit, it says, I've been a member of the Rocket Pool community since March 2021, heavily embedded in the community and have direct line of access to those most important to fostering a relationship. I'm also a node operator and thought leader in the community. And all of those things, of course, are true. So people like listened to Dybsy, and they voted overwhelmingly in favor of that. The vote needed 300,000 votes to reach quorum. That happened extremely easily. 7 million people voted for Dybsy here, and 189,000 votes were abstained. So it passed with 97.3% of the vote. So congratulations to Dybsy for that. That's really great. To see that, you know, people from the Rocket Pool community are getting such great representation. So Dybsy now will be kind of like representing Hop in the Rocket Pool community, but also representing Rocket Pool in the Hop community. So it's a nice like two-way bridge that we've created. And here's, you know, the outfit that Dybsy will be wearing when he's doing his official Hop duties. It's a lovely outfit of him wearing a bunny suit, like an Easter bunny suit. So thanks, Dybsy, for that. And congratulations on your vote. And I'm excited to see you get started on that. Okay, so moving on from that, next we have this some analysis that came through from Hodger, which was really interesting. So people were talking about like the queue and how long it'll take to get through the queue, and what your earnings will be impacted, how that will be impacted by being in the queue, and, you know, gas paid for transferring. And Hodger here says gas price is at 30 Gwei and queue duration is 21 days. It will take 160 days to break even on profit. How to use: if you have a gamble between converting a 16 ETH pool to 2 LEB8s, now at 60 Gwei and 7 days queue, or wait 30 day and 14 day queue. And then there's some variables here like 60 Gwei 7 day queue, and then 227 day break even, 30 Gwei 14 day queue, 141 day break even. So there's 86 days between those scenarios. And then he says if you think within the 86 days, that situation where 30 Gwei and 14 day queue is possible, then waiting to launch is better. If you think within 86 days, that situation where 30 Gwei and 14 day queue is not possible, then launching now at 60 Gwei and 7 day queue is better. And then here there's a chart that got made. Let's see if we can open it to the full amount. So here, you know, gas, the left, the y-axis here is the gas price that you paid, and the x-axis here is the amount of days you spend in the queue. So if you are, you know, 0 days in the queue and the gas is 10, then that's really good. The more green, the better it is for you. That's more profitable. As gas prices get higher and the queues get longer, those days like of profitability really get impacted. And if the gas is at 60 and the queue is 90 days, then it will take you over a year and like 3 months to break even on that. So definitely make sure that you are having a good analysis here on the amount of days that you might spend in the queue and the gas price at that point, because if you pay gas, basically, like at the moment, I think there's like, you know, we saw that there was 9 or 10 day queue. That of course is subject to change because of people's deposits coming through. Well, no, the queue might be longer than that because that's just the people at the front of the queue who joined like right after Atlas, whereas people who joined like, you know, a couple of days ago, it might be a lot longer for them than the 9 or 10 days. Because if there's 70,000 ETH waiting, 75,000 ETH, and we're getting 5,000 a day, basically, which is, you know, the upper range of what we might be getting, that'll be around 17 or 18 days. So let's have a look at that, right? 17 days queue wait, and gas has not come down below 30 Gwei these last few days. So if you just say 30 Gwei of 17 days, that's 149 days of 149 days to break even for that. So it's definitely like quite a long time. in terms of being like under profit. But of course, if you're thinking about it on a multi-year level, then it might be worth, changing at that point, on 17-day queue. Well, actually, it's a 19-day queue. No, 17-day queue. I don't know, my math sucks. So anyway, yeah, like you just really like have a look at this chart to see like how you're breaking even. This is for people who have their commission at 15%, by the way. If your commission is set to is this one, sorry, this is the wrong one. If your commission is 5%, then your you get profitable, like your range of profitability is a bit better. So at 30 GUI and 17 days in the queue, like we were looking at, it is 109 days before you're profitable. So that's 33% faster. However, the flip side of that is if you are at 20% commission, then the numbers get really bad, because if you have a look again at 17 days and 30 GUI, it's like 180 days. So it's 20% slower than that you reach break even. But even then, like if there's not much of a queue and the gas prices are low, it's worth it for you to switch over to LEB 8s, provided that gas is low and there's not much of a queue, because then you can break even within a few months, and then after that you're enjoying higher profits. So that's a really, really great set of data that Hodja provided. So thank you so much for that information. I think it'll be useful to a lot of people in the community, and you'll find links to those comments where Hodja shares that information in the description of this video. Okay, next there is something from Sleety that was really, really cool to see. The rocket pool chart, the growth, the TVL chart has been kind of like vertical post Atlas. Like the growth has been phenomenal. So to commemorate that, Sleety made this POAP. It says rocket pool goes vertical, April 2023. There was a comment that Sleety made that he asked people to respond to that with a rocket pool symbol to get the POAP. And he says, the description says rocket pool's RETH supply has grown by more than 10% over the past week, leading to a steep, almost vertical cumulative RETH supply chart. This POAP is to celebrate the success of Atlas upgrade and the regular deposits in events. With more DeFi integrations coming soon, these numbers are up only. So that was a really nice POAP that Sleety sent out, and I of course absolutely love Sleety's artwork, so any excuse to give it a shout out, like I'm happy to take that. So thank you, Sleety, for putting that together. It really is a beautiful POAP, and I'm really happy to have one. Okay, next we have this tweet thread from Poopman, DeFi rookie, and he's kind of explaining rocket pool here. It says staking 1632 ETH to run a node is expensive. With the Atlas upgrades, rocket pool lowers the entry barrier to operate a node from 16 ETH to 8 ETH, allowing more nodes to join the ecosystem. A thread on Atlas upgrades and the effect of 8 ETH mini pools in the staking landscape. So then there's some information about the LST sector and like how it's growing, how it's the biggest sector in DeFi now, and how staking has changed a lot since Shanghai. And then he says in the current market, the most popular liquid staking protocols include Lido, Rocket Pool, Frax, Stakewise, and Stader. And amongst them, Rocket Pool has been the best performing LSD after Lido, which is really great. And then he says with Atlas upgrades, the number of Rocket Pool's mini pools has reached an all-time high of no, this information here is not right. We're over 17,000, I think now. Yeah, so that number is wrong. This is largely attributed to lower barrier of entry. And he says in this thread, we'll cover the recap of Rocket Pool. What is the Atlas upgrade about? The 8 ETH mini pools, core changes in Atlas, and closing thoughts. So let's skip ahead to the closing thoughts and see what Poopman was saying here. But definitely give the whole of the thread a listen, because there's some really, really good information here. And yeah, let's see, like here we have closing thoughts. This is the Atlas upgrade lowered the entry barrier to run a node on Rocket Pool while adapting to withdrawal changes post Shanghai updates, not to mention its optimization on Minipool design. In short, I believe Atlas is a bullish upgrade for Rocket Pool. He says, I do not hold any RPL and this is not financial advice. Please do your own research before making any investments. If you enjoyed my thread, please leave a like, retweet, and share with your friends. Let them know that Poop is writing on crypto Twitter, and then tagged a bunch of people from in the Rocket Pool community, but he didn't tag me, so that's disappointing, Poopman. Yeah, it was a nice thread, so definitely go and give it a read and get all the information if you are interested in that. Okay, next we had Jasper was featured on the Friday episode of Bankless. Here Ryan and David were talking about how staking has changed and what is happening post Shanghai and Rocket Pool's growth, and Jasper's tweet was shared on the screen here, so that's a really nice moment for Jasper. I'm sure that he was able to see that going out, so that was really great. And the Bankless guy said a lot of nice things about Rocket Pool as well, which is awesome. Okay, and then a couple of things to finish with. One here, we have this poem about waiting in the Rocket Pool queue, and then here says 0x bad poop in queue, waiting long since April 20th, humming song, eager to start its staking roll and watch his rewards begin to roll. Rocket Pool calls, the time draws near, excitement builds, the launch is here. Joining the smoothing pool, it dreams of endless gains and joyful beams. With Ethereum staked, it soars high above the clouds up in the sky, a shining light, a beacon bright, guiding others to its light. So here Bad Boob got through the queue and was so happy about the moment that wrote a poem about it. So thanks thanks for that, Bad Boob. And I'm going to finish with this thing that came out on Friday, the Weekly Orbit. It's a news show about Rocket Pool news. It's hosted by myself and Pat, who's a member of the Rocket Pool community that you might know as Granddaddy Cool, and it's slightly different from a regular Rocket Fuel episode, because here, you know, we were talking about price and we were talking about market things like that as well, and then we were just kind of like covering the top news in the week of Rocket Pool. So the goal is for each episode to be under 20 minutes, I think, and just cover like the top stories of the week and talk about some of the market information that came out that week. But give the Weekly Orbit subscribe, support Pat in the work that Pat's doing, and give the episode a watch if you are interested in that. But yeah, on that note, I want to say I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you all have a good week ahead, and I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow there's going to be two big things that are happening. One is grants are going to be announced in a few hours time for the second grant cycle, so that's really exciting. And the raffle for March contributors, April contributors will take place during tomorrow's episode as well, so I'll be keeping track of all that stuff. Those are the two exciting things that are happening tomorrow, and of course there'll be a whole lot more that'll be covered as well. But the raffle should have happened today, but we just didn't have the data ready in time, so that will be covered tomorrow. So thank you all for watching and listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.